The Google Pixel 10, when it first launched, was compared to the iPhone 16, which was Apple's standard iPhone offering at the time. And in that comparison, the Pixel 10 seemed like a better deal from a price perspective, value perspective, the 120Hz screen, the software, and more. However, cut to September, the iPhone 17 dropped and this phone evened it out. In fact, the base iPhone, just like the Pixel 10, also starts at 256GB storage, offers a 120Hz screen, has the new shiny iOS 26 software, and the list goes on. Of course, when it comes to the AI smarts, that's a different debate. Google takes the lead, but from a hardware perspective and the kind of features that you get, which of these two devices is the better one? Hello everyone, I'm Mani of a Digit and welcome to the battery drain test comparison between the iPhone 17 and the Google Pixel 10. Let's get started. As always, both phones have been charged to 100% and disconnected, and we will start off by booting both these devices, and the Pixel 10 is the first one to power up. Now, for those who are here for the first time, the rules of the battery test are simple. Both phones are connected to the same Wi-Fi network, adaptive brightness has been turned off, and the brightness itself has been tuned to about 510 nits manually with the help of a lux meter, since this is an indoor setting. Sound is also adjusted to 50% on both devices. So first up on your screens are the prices of both phones, where you can see that the iPhone is also offered in a higher 512GB storage versus the Pixel 10's sole 256GB storage option. Also, here's a quick look at the key specifications of both phones as well. You can pause and take a look. Alright, let's get going with the battery test with the 2-hour YouTube playback round. Now yes, the iPhone 17 here has a smaller battery, but don't let that fool you, because history is proof that iOS as an OS is less demanding than Android. Also, the iPhone here has a 1 to 120Hz adaptive refresh rate OLED panel, while the Pixel 10's display either supports 60Hz or 120Hz refresh rate. So, I am expecting the iPhone 17 to be more efficient here by the end of 2 hours. We will see that. But generally speaking, while both phones have been tuned to the same brightness, or even when it comes to adaptive brightness, standalone, these are gorgeous displays. That said, side by side, I think the iPhone 17's panel is better, both in terms of color and vibrancy. Moreover, when it comes to playing HDR content too, the iPhone 17 offers a richer viewing experience. It has better viewing angles, screen legibility is also better, and the anti-reflective coating on top definitely helps slightly. Now, for instance, this HDR video too, see for yourself and judge on which phone's display does it look better. What do you think? With that, we are done with the 2-hour YouTube video playback round, and the iPhone 17 has taken the lead with 88% battery left, while the Pixel 10 is left with 84% battery. Okay, now it is time to record an hour of 4K video split between the front and rear cameras. Let's start with the rear camera first, 4K 30fps video for half an hour on both phones. Now, while the recording is on, here are the camera specifications of both devices. The iPhone 17 features a dual rear camera system comprising 248 megapixel lenses, primary and ultra wide. At the front, you get a brand new 18 megapixel center stage camera. Video recording is capped at 4K 60fps from both the rear and front cameras. On the other hand, the Pixel 10 has a triple rear camera system featuring a 48 megapixel primary lens, a 10.8 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. For selfies, there's a 10.5 megapixel snapper at the front, and similar to the iPhone 17, the video recording is capped at 4K 60fps from both the front and rear lenses. Alright, it is time we end the 30-minute 4K video recording from the rear camera. Now, in terms of thermals, while the iPhone 17 hit a peak of 35 degrees Celsius, the Pixel 10 went up to 39 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's start the 4K video recording from the front camera for another 30 minutes, and while the recording is on, here are the photo samples that I took from both the devices. You can take a look at the results and let me know in the comments which phone you think takes the better photos. With that, we are done with an hour of 4K video recording. Once again, a quick check on the thermals, and the iPhone 17 became slightly warm, hitting a max of 36 degrees Celsius, while the Pixel 10 once again hit a maximum of 39 degrees Celsius. So overall, the Pixel is running warmer than the iPhone. With that, after 3 hours gone, the iPhone 17 is still in the lead with 68% battery left, while the Pixel 10 is right behind with 65% battery. Alright, time to run some benchmarks now to get an idea when put under heavy load, which phone delivers the better performance and of course, better endurance. First up, the specs. The iPhone 17 is powered by Apple's in-house A19 chip paired with 8GB LPDDR5X RAM and up to 512GB NVMe storage. The Pixel 10 is powered by the Tensor G5 SoC and comes with 12GB LPDDR5X RAM paired with 256GB UFS 4 storage. Starting with Geekbench 6 and based on the scores, the iPhone 17 is about a crazy 118% faster than the Pixel 10 in single-core performance and about 107% faster in multi-core performance. In Anther 2, which takes into account the CPU, GPU, memory and user experience of a phone, the iPhone 17 decimated the Pixel 10 with a 129% faster overall performance, with its CPU being about 261% faster and the GPU being about 89% faster than the Pixel 10. In the 3D Mark Extreme Stress Test, the iPhone 17 once again posted much better scores with a 67.3% stability versus Pixel 10's 58.7% stability. Now a quick check at the battery stats after the benchmarks round, and surprisingly both phones are tied at 46% battery left. Now during the benchmark tests, the surface temperatures for both phones stayed below 40 degrees Celsius. However, when it comes to actual usage under load, the iPhone 17 runs much cooler than the Pixel 10. In fact, Asphalt 9 Legends also ran cooler on the iPhone than on the Pixel 10. And so performance-wise, thermals-wise, to no surprise, the iPhone 17 takes the crown. You see, while the Tensor G5 chip is well optimized for everyday tasks, smooth animations and AI workloads, but in raw gaming performance, the Pixel 10 is merely fine. Whereas the iPhone 17's A19 chip delivers buttery smooth performance across the board, including demanding games. So while both phones can run Asphalt 9 at 60 FPS, the iPhone 17 does it with fewer frame drops. For competitive titles also like BGMI or Call of Duty Mobile, it supports 90 FPS and 120 FPS gameplay respectively, whereas the Pixel 10 stays capped at 60 FPS. Simply put, the iPhone 17 is the better choice for gaming and sustained heavy use. And with that, we are done with the gaming round 2, and the iPhone 17 has once again taken the lead with 27% battery left, while the Pixel 10 is left with 22% battery. So we are now in the last leg of our battery drain test comparison. I will run an hour of Instagram on both phones here, but without keeping you waiting until the last minute, I am going to fast forward to the 6 hours mark, and with that, the iPhone 17 finishes with 17% battery left, while the Pixel 10 finishes with 12% battery left. Here's an hour-by-hour breakdown of the battery drain of both smartphones on your screens right now. So even though the iPhone 17 packs a smaller 3692 mAh battery compared to the Pixel 10's 4970 mAh unit, it is clearly more power efficient. Across the 6-hour battery drain test, the iPhone 17's battery dropped by 83%, while the Pixel 10's battery drained by 88%. Despite that capacity gap, Apple's optimizations with the A19 chip and iOS 26 give it a noticeable edge in both thermal performance and efficiency. Now, generally, the Pixel 10 still performs well, especially for everyday use and AI-driven tasks, but under heavy workloads like gaming or 4K video recording, it tends to run warmer and drain faster. End of the day, the iPhone 17 wins on sustained efficiency and performance, despite the Pixel 10 featuring a much larger battery. And that's it for this battery drain test comparison. Tell us which one you'd pick in the comments below, and as always, for everything tech, stay tuned to Digit. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.